Good morning. Wait a second. It's really cold here. Oh, really? Oh my. I think I watched a TikTok about someone from Spain that he was complaining in a very funny way about the heat. And actually, here we are freezing. It's really cold. Actually, I do have a heater, but my cat is using it, so yes, I have to wear a blanket because it's really cold here. I love winter, anyways. Okay, yeah, I enjoy it better than just the heat makes me very uncomfortable, and I'm all day complaining about the heat, and I don't want to leave my house unless I have to go to a place where there's like air conditioner. Hi, Samara. I'm sorry that I forgot to put the reminder that I was going to do the live today. It's just that I got home from work really late, and after I finished cooking and having dinner, I watched a few moments of a documentary, and then I fell asleep, and now I'm here. So yeah, I'm sorry that I didn't set the reminder that today was going to be the live. Yes. Yes, they are the owners of the heater, actually. They are the owner. Like, I mean, I can take it for myself, but because they have like I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's like a chimney, like another heater in my dad's house that it's even bigger and that it's really cozy to be there. They often are there, but he doesn't turn it on like early in the morning. He probably does it like on the evening. So I am the one that uses it very early in the morning so the cats enjoy it. Hi, Muffy. Hello. Guys, remember in one of my lives that I did a reading for BTS? I know that I did an update about BTS situation. But when I watched the festa and I, I, I listened to their expressions, high spirit, about how tired they were, about the frustration, about a lot of emotional things. And then I went to my reading about them and I watched it all over and I was like, oh my God, like that was the vibe that I was getting from them. Um, that, like I told you, I don't think these guys are going to stop. So I don't think that that the fans should worry about them not working. they said it themselves, but I think that it's good that they acknowledge and make it public that sometimes they need to connect with the reason why they are doing this. Sometimes to take a time off or to take a time to organize yourself as an individual, it's very necessary. So I think that for them it's going to be very beneficial, because it's not that they're going to lose the respect and the love that we have for them. I think in my case, I even admire them more right now than they made this decision. And that actually we heard it from them and not from a very boring statement. Yes, we looked so done. Hi, Diana. Mm. Yes, it's just that B, like we're always talking about his moon in Aries, and the fact that he's a Capricorn as well. I think that when you have those combinations, a Capricorn and a fire moon, sometimes it's not easy for you to actually disguise when you are not, when actually you are doing your role, because you are doing it, you are there, because you're responsible, but it's not like, oh, I'm excited, like actually when it comes to B, I think that he is very expressive in his face when he's excited about something. When he's laughing, when he's smiling, he's like a child. But when he's all serious and just quiet and just like there, it's probably because he's doing his duty, but he's not like, like enjoying it. But he's doing it anyways, because actually when you are a Capricorn, like you don't question whether you enjoy something or not. You just there. You just do what you have to do. There's no like extra meaning to this. The fans will understand what they are going through and wait. Yes, I was like, yes, yes. No, you don't know who you are. I've seen this comments. Yes, it's great. I'm happy to make a decision. Yes, they need to relax and recharge. Exactly. It's very necessary, guys. It's very necessary. And I think that there's something about what RM said, Namjoon, that about the K-pop industry, that they expect their idols, especially the popular ones, to keep working until there's nothing left to give, until they cannot get something out of you. And this is why sometimes unconsciously there are, sometimes groups that are really old, sometimes there are like interruptions, like, oh, a member goes through something happens, and these events that happen are like an expression of we need to stop. Somehow the human behind the idol is going through some kind of crisis, and crises are good because they makes us face a part of ourselves that we are not comfortable with anymore, and that somehow you not being comfortable with something is not that you hate your craft or that you hate what you do. It's more like a crisis, when you start to wonder what's the point behind what I'm doing. Because somehow when you are like this machine of success, you are expected to be like this machine, that you deliver the same high level, and then eventually it's not about how good it is, it's about you just delivering something. And I think that in the case of them, that they are very focused on creation, and they take pride in their creations because they are really good at it. They probably saw their last I don't know what they had to do last, and they were like, I'm not enjoying this. Like, I wish we had more time to develop something else. So I imagine the pressure that they must have felt to actually hit this from the fans, and to be able to keep up the optimistic energy as always. Because actually people need them optimistic. But this is, I think that this is a huge statement from them to be like, okay, we had always been what you wanted us to be. We had always been that system of support, that example. Now we want you to understand us, that we as person, as people, as individuals, we need to take a break. But it's not that they are like suffering. It's not about suffering. It's not about, being a victim of your circumstances. It's not about that. It's about you reconnecting with yourself. Because if you don't connect with yourself, then what are you doing? At least for BTS members to actually get in touch with who they really are, their identity, and the changes in their identity is very personal, it's necessary. They cannot help it. They cannot ignore it. They cannot ignore the need to to go in this sort of quest or this sort of searching for something meaningful. They need to do something meaningful. Honestly, Irene, about talking the break, there's no break about K-pop artists. The only times idols get a break is the military enlistment, and it's not even a break. It's a duty. Yes, it's a duty. Again, it's another duty after other duty, and it's like this. Yes, that 7 members all became such amazing solo artists and brought in many new agasas. Exactly. Uh, K-pop is a tough business. Older idols like BTS want more creatively in person. So if BTS leave because hype giants run them out, BTS ain't getting the name. Hi Regina. I hope BTS can plan their military service to optimize and coordinate their time away as a group. I think that maybe for all of us that watched it, it was really heartbreaking to see RM be so emotional like this. Like, I think that in my own experience, I can see his oh wait, I can see like the emotions, the emotional, how emotional he got. I can totally understand that, because it's not tears of sadness. It's a mix of emotions, and it's like when you get emotional because you are frustrated, because somehow you want to make clear a point, and you get emotional because you don't want to you don't want to be misunderstood. You want people to listen to what you have to say, and do not try to interpret it in different ways. What Aaron did, he was being honest and showing his concern of not letting people down. And I think that that's when you are so so self-efficient, or when you are so thankful to others. Sometimes you do put I'm sorry. Maybe this part is too hard for them to actually speak, because I always get stuff in my throat when this happens. I think that probably for him, as a person and as an artist, he really felt emotional because he wanted to say this, but he also was struggling so hard inside of himself to make himself understood, because he doesn't want people to take the wrong interpretation of what he said. Because sometimes people, when idols say something, you always then hear the comments afterwards, and even from the fans themselves. Oh, maybe he said this because he meant this, or maybe he acted like this because something like this happened, and they make up their own theories. And I think that for RM in that moment, he was like, what I'm saying is what I'm feeling, and what I'm feeling is what I'm communicating. So please take my words. Don't go to an external source, or don't go beyond your perception to try to figure out why I'm being the way I'm being, because this is me talking. This is not a character. This is me, the human, talking. So please pay attention so I don't have to repeat it again. As communicators and also as public figures, they do have a lot of responsibilities when it comes to how they say things. And I think that the emotions that he felt, the tears and all, is sort of like, please listen to me. Like, please listen. Don't overanalyze anything. Because there's also like, I think that there's this exhaustion of having to explain themselves all the time, or having people like trying to be a sort of translator of, oh, did they say this or did they mean something else? Like, come on, guys, like, pay attention. The person is talking to you. Pay attention. Don't try to give it an extra meaning. The guys, each of them said what they wanted to say, and they expressed what was needed in that moment. So sometimes, these videos where they overanalyze body language, like I always tell you, body language, why he said what he said, why he looked what he looked, what happened with the translation. People always like wanting to, like, come on, guys. Listen to the person. So I kind of get the frustration. Yeah. Hello. Hello. Yes, I think that it's also a matter of trust, because if you, this is something, the reality. I think that we can all put it as an example to be better as companions, as supporters, as friends. If you have people that love you, but somehow you feel like you have to be very careful about the way you express yourself because they might take it or interpret it differently, then you are not being yourself. Because there's supposed to be an understanding and an acceptance. If you love someone, you have to be able to see them and keep in this love and respect in the good times and the bad times. Because this is not about you feeling sad or you feeling, oh my God, look what he's saying. Like, this is what he's going through. So let's accept his experience. Let's not try to save him. Oh my God, why is he like that? No. He's opening up. And I think that this is something that we all should always do some kind of report about ourselves. Like, what kind of friend am I? What kind of partner am I? Am I allowing the other part to be themselves, to speak their mind, or they have to watch themselves like because they don't want to disappoint me or something like that? Because then this is not an equal relationship and it's not healthy. Because when the person is going through something difficult, probably they are not going to tell us because they don't want us to worry. So we should always think about, okay, if we are friends, if we are close, you should be able to trust me. You should be able to open up and maybe tell me something harsh about yourself. We shouldn't be the kind of person that, oh, because I'm so sensitive and I have my issues as well, please, if you're going to deliver a news, please, this news better be gentle, be happy, because I had a bad day. Sometimes our loved ones are going through a sort of inner battle, and it doesn't always have to do with us. They are just sharing it with us. But they're not expecting you to fix it for them. They're just expressing it, like letting it out. So if you are a good friend, take what they are saying, respect it. Don't try to fix it for them. Just listen to them. Be there for them. Don't start like whining about your own problems. Oh, like, oh, you have a problem? Oh, I have a problem too. Like, no. Because sometimes for those people to really open up and tell you, yes, I'm feeling like this, I'm feeling awful. And you start like, oh, like, you're feeling awful? Oh, let me tell you, I'm also feeling awful. You don't know what happened to me the other day. And then you somehow interrupt their moment. It suddenly becomes of who is having the worst time. So you need to also do some reflection about yourself, like what kind of support you want to be for your loved ones. So when they are going through something, they will have the trust to tell you, yes, I'm not feeling well. Yes, I'm feeling frustrated. I'm angry. I'm anxious. Even then it's likely they are actually taking a break. They are doing solo work. Yes, they are doing solo work. Yes, they are doing solo work. Yeah, people shouldn't panic. Actually, they should be grateful that BTS had this moment. They should be grateful that they didn't find out about this from other resources. They should be grateful that they heard it from the guys themselves. They should be grateful. Even as a child, I was moved and feel proud of BTS for taking these important steps. Although they may not be all the same place, they made this decision as a group. Now the healing can begin. Exactly. Exactly, Hope. Exactly. We don't want fame to ruin BTS. Because actually this happens to a lot of successful groups. And I think that they also realized that just the fact that they know what they do not want, it's a celebration. This means that these guys are not only business smart, but they are also emotionally intelligent people. You recognizing your own needs, it's bravery. It's being courageous. And also not letting other people tell how they feel. They said it themselves. This is why I tell like fans that you have to take what the guys told you. Don't overanalyze things. because it's not that complex actually. They're just tired. They want to connect with creation again. They want to create with creativity, with inspiration. They want to find their muse. They want to find their muse. And I think they will. They are the abundance is waiting for them, guys. So, for us, it's like, yes, please bring it on. We want to see you guys individually because we know who they are as a group. It's just that this is why I think that BTS, it's like everyone knows it, of course, that they are not just a group, a K-pop group, or a boy group, or a boy band, or not boy band, because the boy bands are not anymore. But they are not just a group of artists. They are, and I don't want to say influencers, because influencers is awful, because influencers is always to sell you something, but they are this sort of like examples. Examples. Hello. They are examples. Like I always tell you, they show you with examples their way of doing things. They are not telling you what to be or how to be, because they are not preachers. They are not your therapist. They are not your counselors. They are not your parents. Like the decisions you make, you have to make them for yourself, because each life path and circumstances are totally different. There's no guide of BTS to be happy, because they are struggling to find their own happiness as well. So you can expect a group of artists to tell you how to live life or to give you a philosophy. But somehow they are sharing with their experiences and their transparency. They are showing you that we always should be gentle to the person that is behind the idol. Because it's not just, oh, I am this amazing person you see on stage 24/7. No, I am a person and I have flaws. And I'm insecure. And sometimes I'm lost myself. Even though my position in this group is stable, me as a person, sometimes I feel lost. So we should embrace that as well. That means that there's in them this need to look for more. So I was thinking, guys, since we are talking about BTS, that maybe we should pull 2 cards for each member to see how they're going to do, or how they're... Okay. Jumping cards again. Wait a second, guys, because this one flew away. I'm going to have to... Yeah, I think so. I think so too. Okay, I got all red of just like reaching the cards. So I was thinking about pulling a card for each member, and then we can talk about something else, of course, and also pull some cards for others, idols, and groups. Okay, so I'm going to start from the oldest to the youngest. The oldest is Jin. Um, mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly, Hope. We have Jin, who is next. Suga? Is it Suga the oldest? Besides, after Jin, who is... Okay, let's put Jin, Suga, J-Hope, RM, Jimin, B, and JK. Okay, let's do this. I don't remember exactly the order of ages, but it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to start with B. No, B. Sorry, not B. B is... Maybe he wants Carl for himself. Maybe he's going to Jin, Yoongi, Hobin, Namjoon, Jimin, Taeyong, Jungkook. How? I'm so good. I'm so good, Diana. I got them all right. Jin, Suga, J-Hope, RM, Jimin, B, Jacob. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to start with Jin. Yeah. See, my memory doesn't fail me. But yeah, I could have got it wrong actually. Because there's something about Suga and J-Hope that I don't know which one is the oldest, but well, because their energy seems like they are from the same year. Okay, Jin. Jin got Seven of Cups, Page of Cups. Wow. Very emotional, Jin. Very emotional. Very emotional. There's something about Jin that I think that more than thinking about work, probably he wants to find some stability in his emotional life. Because, you know, we have the Seven of Cups, so obviously this guy is very loved. He probably has a lot of loved ones around him, and he has a lot of possibilities to be loved. But somehow it's like he never actually took it seriously, you know, probably because he doesn't have the time either. But I think that he is like looking at the different directions that his life could take in emotional sense. But he wants to be brave enough to make an invitation to someone. I don't think that this is love coming his way. I think that this is more about him making his mind and deciding who he wants to share his cup with. I think this is him making an offer, not the other way around. Um, and I think that he's feeling very emotional. He's feeling like he's got it all, but probably he sees other people's experiences, especially probably in dating or having a family of their own, and he's like, okay, I kind of want that too. But I think that for Jean to actually connect with emotions is not easy. So, you know, but probably he wants to experience a very emotional story with someone. He wants to feel things. He wants to feel romantic. He wants to be a gentleman. He wants someone that makes him feel like, oh yes, I'm taking this first step, I'm making advances. Like, he's a gentleman, of course, but probably he had always been really disconnected and, you know, like someone that has a lot of options. And actually, if we think about his role in BTS, you know, this is the Seven of Cups. So this could actually like also represent the seven members. Then him as a BTS member. You know, that somehow it seems like he had always been surrounded by people, probably the members, and probably thinking that I'm talking about Jin, BTS Jin. And probably he was like, oh, with these guys I have enough, or with being in this I have enough. Like, oh yes, we love each other, and this is like, okay, I'm getting out of this, because somehow this experience of individual activities is also helping him remember that he's an individual. Because you know that the cups also talk about artistry and artistic and creation and creating something. So probably if he does do a solo activity, it's going to be something very emotional as well. It's going to be a song about emotions, about, very romantic. But for this to happen, he needs to connect with emotions. He needs to go back to his own experience and be like, okay, have I ever been in love? Have I ever been on a breakup? How did I feel back then? What did I feel? What do I feel? If I think about love, how does love make me feel? How does feeling not loved makes me feel? So he's thinking also about his ability to be loved. Like, what do I have to offer to a certain someone if I'm always thinking about this? Or if I'm always in this sort of clouds of thinking, oh, look, it's never too late because I have a lot of options. But actually here is like, come on, make a move. Make a move for yourself. Don't forget about you. Don't forget about you and your own emotional needs. I think this timeout is going to help him connect with his emotional needs, because he actually does have them. Just that probably he's surrounded by a lot of people that just keep him company. So he feels like he doesn't need a special someone. Or probably if he had a sort of encounter with someone, he was like, oh yes, we had fun, but yeah, things didn't work out because I'm busy. And now you're on your own. I'm not going to say that he's not going to be busy. Of course he's going to be busy. But it's like there's going to be a little voice inside his head that is going to be, come on. You need to, come on, you need to do it. You need to be the one that initiates this. Share this invitation with someone. And maybe this someone can help you connect with the inspiration that you need to write the song that you want. It all serves a purpose. It's great. Come on, Jean, exactly. Come on. And I think that he's also looking at the others probably, and he's seeing how they're also not developing into themselves, but also being brave about connections. And he's like, oh, I want that myself, but I don't know how. Just that probably Jin had always been distracted by opportunities, or actually by a lot of people telling him how great he is, and being loving and positive towards him. Yes, he's looking at the others and being like, oh, maybe I should try to achieve what they have. Not the same that they have, of course, but maybe I should, he's curious. He's curious. Exactly. Okay, let's move on to Yoongi. Suga. Yoongi. 5 of Pentacles. The Empress. Actually, Jungi, I think that Jungi is, I don't know if you noticed, but Jungi is going through a sort of glow up like you never seen before. Am I the only one that noticed? Like, Jungi is my new bias right now. Like my initial bias used to be JK, but then like I decided that all of them were my biases, and now I'm leaning towards Jungi. Like, Jungi is like, what's going on with Jungi? He's looking so good. Like, I love him so much. I love him. He looks so, he's so expressive. You know, remember when Jungi was always in the background? Like, he would never, like, he would say a few things, a few comments here and there, but he was always like looking like he was somewhere else, like he wasn't present. And now he's like blossoming. Like, I love him. But you know, for Jungi, um, with this Five of Pentacles, I think that Jungi is starting to gain his own confidence, but uh, also understanding that he is not what happened in the past. You know, also letting go of past disappointments or of him feeling like he wasn't good enough. But I think that what he fears the most is losing his creativity. This is what he fears the most. And I think that this time off is going to give him the time and the room to actually be more selective about what he's going to work on. Because yes, Parvati, he is a machine of creation. He is the empress. But at the same time, when we're talking about creativity flow, sometimes the flow runs out. Or sometimes you are left without no ideas, or without no resources, or without no material. So I think that in the back of his mind, sometimes he is a bit worried about not being good enough. But I think that there's something here that probably a lot of people want something out of Jungi. A lot of people want a piece of Jungi's creation. And since he's so abundant, because he's a Pisces, so he's always abundant, he's always like flowing with creation. Sometimes for him, he doesn't know when to say no to certain projects or requests. I'm sure he has a long list of people asking him to do something for them, to create something for them. And he can do it. Of course that he can do it. But at the same time, he has to be more careful. He has to be selective. And he has to be able to say no. This is something that Pisces always struggle their whole life. Because yes, you see, probably, you know, Jungi is a moon in Virgo. So definitely there's something about his expression that you know that he is not a people's pleaser. But very inside, he's a creator. And he's a sensitive person. So if you ask him for help, he will help you. Even if he has to work like 84 hours like on a row and not sleep and and not eat to get what you wanted and to get you that specific creation for you, he will do it for you. So he needs to also remember that yes, he is this force of creation, but sometimes he needs to restrict that. He needs to restrict that. Because actually, this creation is also for him to enjoy. So if he gives it to everyone, he's going to run out of it eventually. And he's going to get really frustrated with himself because he's going to lose the focus. So he needs to restrain, like, okay, who are you going to write songs for? Is this person like, or who are you going to collaborate with? Is this going to be beneficial for you? Is this going to be good for you? Like, what has this person done for you actually? To be a bit picky. Yes, to be a bit picky. Yes, exactly, Spirit. I think that we all see, because Jungi is a savage. His moon in Virgo obviously, like, lets you know that he will not hold back from saying what he thinks. But at the same time, his weak point, his weakness, and his soft spot is creation. So when you ask him to do something for you, he will be like, okay, how can I help you? Even though he can be tired, he can be exhausted, he can be drained, he can be like with a lot of personal issues. He will wake up and be like, okay, how can I help you? Like, do you need something from me? Okay, I will do it. I have 20 minutes left, free tomorrow, but I will do it. He's like, he wants to help others. He's a sweet guy. He's a sweet guy. He's always there for others. And also, yes, the Empress also lets him know that the more he gives to others, the more fulfillment he feels in himself. But at the same time, it's like you don't need to give people nothing. Like I'm saying, like sharing, like making songs for them. You don't need to give them nothing to love you. You don't need to make songs for people so they can love you more, or so they can respect you more. You are loved. You are accepted. You are a creator. You don't need to prove it to anyone. So don't overwork yourself to show that you're worth it and that you have the talent. That it's okay to say no. It's okay to say, no, I'm not going to do it because I have other things to do. He needs to be a bit more selfish. He needs to be a bit more selfish. Life is eventually going to push him. I think that his rising is in Aries. I think I read it somewhere. And I think that probably if his rising is in Aries, there's something about individualization here. There's something about, okay, you have done a lot for others. Like, now we want you to focus on you. We want you to make the most of your spare time or your free time and find a hobby and find something to do for you, not to help others. You already help enough. Creativity will always be open for you, but don't give it away. He's amazing. He's definitely amazing, and I'm sure that he's going to be very successful at keep producing songs. But I think that he should empty his agenda a bit. He should empty his agenda a bit and enjoy himself and do things for himself. This was Sugar. Okay, let's move on to J-Hope. Oh, I don't know, Susan. I don't trust someone saying like, because if people are going to, again, if people are going to start like speculating about why, where, when, I don't, like, anyone can have their opinions, of course, but I don't pay attention to that. I just pay attention to what the guys have to say. That's all. J-Hope, hobby. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it sounded a bit personal, right, Samara? Like I was reading for him, as if I was talking to him. Yeah, I know, I know. Sometimes I do that. I hope Jung is watching, but I do not have Korean subtitles, so he would not. Okay, hobby. Hobby. Free of Cups, the Hangman, another Pisces energy. I know he's an Aquarius, but there's a lot of Pisces energy in him with his Mercury and Venus there. So, hobby. Hobby definitely is going to celebrate something. He's going to make, I said it in his birthday tarot reading, he's going to do a collaboration with someone. He's going to collaborate with someone, is going to do great. He's going to also be celebrating with different people, not be the regular, like being with the members, but he's also going to like have a lot of moments of him being with other artists and talking to them and absorbing their own experiences and having fun and actually being invited to a lot of events, or I don't know, you will see hobby everywhere eventually. But always celebrating, no rumors, no like, like not always in a fun mood. But yeah, there's something about celebration. He's definitely, but because he does have this very energetic vibe. So obviously, you will never see like a hobby like, hobby is a performer. Hobby is a performer. So he is like, he will always be like this. These people that are like the life of a party, what he always is like this. Wherever he shows up, he brings the light with him, and he's always like welcoming like collaborations and interactions with people with a very fun and light spirit. He's always like, oh, hello, how are you? Like, maybe he his English is not perfect or whatever, but he's always with his attitude, he lets you know that he's like approaching, he's letting you approach him. He's always in a good mood. And of course, that this is just a side of him. This is not who he really is. Hobby also has his strong temper. And this is what the hangman comes. There's something that I think that is hard for hobby. Because even though, yes, he can be the life of the party, he can be like a sort of like social butterfly, and at the same time, he enjoys being in communities and also meeting new people. There's a sense of him actually like not being able to show other sides of himself. Like, probably he does want to. He does want to show like a darker side of himself, or probably a more serious side of himself. But there's something like that, it always ends up being this very light move kind of interaction. um, so I think that it's for hobby, it's like, oh, I wanted to do something different, but somehow I ended up like going with the same vibe that I wanted to not do again. Like, it is weird because he feels like he has another side of him that he wants to show, but it seems like he's tied to a sort of concept that it's all about, very very music that is to celebrate, or music that is to have fun or dance to, so he's like, I'm happy with the result, like I'm really happy, like I know this is a great opportunity for me, but somehow I was left with wanting something different. Like, oh, I'm caught up in that concept again. And probably he will be working a lot on himself to be able to set himself free from the hangman. From this feeling of like, oh, like I didn't get to show what I wanted to show. Like he has so much potential, guys. He had so much that, of course, that probably if he does release something, he's always left with this feeling of insatisfaction, like he wanted to show more. But because hobby is so, it's like a chameleon, it's like a chameleon. So you will never see, this is very Aquarius actually, you will never see like, oh yes, this is what he delivered, this is who he is. No, he's always changing. He's always changing. And maybe for this time, he actually wanted to show, I don't know why I say something darker, but probably, I don't know, something deeper or a darker concept or something like that. And he will end up like giving something that is a very dancing kind of beat and very hopeful and stuff and very him. And he will be left like, oh, I wanted, I wanted to show more. But he will get there. He will get there. Or probably he will want to perform a song of his. He's going to release a mixtape, right? Probably he has his favorite song that he would want to like do like a presentation with, and they would be like, no, we better go with this one, something like that, and him feeling like he's not totally free to choose what he really wanted to choose, even though what the song that he's going to release is going to be very celebrated by a lot of people, and probably there's going to be a lot of TikTok challenge, there's going to be like a lot of like a lot of people sharing it. J-Hope is very popular hobby. He's very popular. He just knows how to, people gravitate towards him because he is so, and he's a star. When you approach him, you know that you're approaching a star because he has a star quality. He has a star quality. But he's also so bright. Okay, guys. RM. RM. The Devil, the Hermit. Wow. Wow. Oh, do I have naked people here? I have to cover it. Yeah. This is very strong, actually. This is reminded me of his Scorpio Venus and his Virgo Sun, or his Virgo energy. I think that for RM, I think that we saw this energy when actually he approached, when he talked about how he felt. I think that for him, I don't know how to say this because the first thing I see with this devil is this sort of political interruption or a lot of political things in the middle, like power struggles that he wants to remove himself from. I don't know if maybe there's some political moves or something like that they request something out of BTS, and him, RM, as a leader and also as a person with his own mindset, he doesn't want to be part of that. So I think that things changed for him when he realized what they wanted out of the guys. And him as the leader, he was like, no, we will not do that. Yeah, there's something with RM and some powerful people like actually asking asking like publicity or something out of BTS, that because of RM's strong beliefs about freedom of speech and about, staying always neutral and to not go there, um, he's sort of like resistant, and he knows that this is not light. Like probably people that he rejected or that he said no to, as uh, the spokesperson of the group. Of course, that he didn't say it himself. He gathered the members and he was like, okay, we have this opinion about this that you are requesting from us, and the answer is no. So I think that probably these influential people or these powerful people are like, we don't like this. So it's like for RM, it's like he's a bit disappointed, actually, and a bit angry as well, because of how they dare to ask him and the group to participate in this sort of like, I don't know, I think it has to do with politics or it has to do with power in general. And he's like, no, we are not going to be like, you know, the faces of this. We do not agree on this. There's something about, powerful people like wanting to use BTS for certain things, and he's not going to back down. He's not going to let this happen to the group. So probably he also needs a timeout. Him as a leader, he's a bit tired mentally and emotionally. He wants to be left alone, actually. Because I think that for RM, time to be alone or a long time is necessary for him to recharge. Uh, he is a deep thinker. RM is a deep thinker. He has a lot of ideas, he has a lot of opinions. He's a very knowledgeable person. He's very philosophical, he's very deep. So for him to actually like not to be able to say what he really wants to say is like he's really like, no, I'm not comfortable here. He's upset about something. He's a bit like offended about something. If I don't know why I think it's political. That some people wanted something out of BTS. Like, oh, you should do this for us, and he was like, no, we're not going to do it. And ever since, like, there's something in their relationships that changed. There's something about there's something about something happened there. This is why he's retreating, because he's like I want to be left alone. Like, I don't want to see your faces. And it's not about the members. It's not about the members. It's about probably the people that requested this from him, that are actually people from the company or something like that. And he's like having a conflict with that. He's like, how can you ask this from us? Like, don't you know what we are about? Like, so he's a bit disappointed because he's also starting to see the power plays. He's starting to see that. So he's like, he's like, oh, okay. He's like, okay, I see where this is going, and I don't like it. And he wants to reclude himself. He wants to think. He wants to be quiet as well. He wants some quiet in his life. He wants to be able to reflect. He needs his alone time. And he will get it, of course. But he's like, I don't want to be intoxicated or, I don't know, yes, intoxicated with people. There's something here with people with power trying to asking BTS for favors, and he is not. he's so offended that these people are requesting this from them. Yes, yes, Parvati. I feel like this is because if you see the devil, there's something here, and him as a hermit, him as this is the card of Virgo, so this is him. He's like opposing this. He's like no. He's like no, no, no. This is not what I want to do. This is not who I am. This is not who we are. Because I don't think that I think that he always consults with the members what the members want to do, but somehow he's the one that delivers the message at the end. So there's this figure of him like having to deliver the response. So probably these people are not happy with him either. They are like, oh, you said this to us, okay, okay. So something is going to change in his like and this is why he's on the hermit, because he wants to get away from them, because somehow the 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 relationships are the not really relationships the interactions are going to be so awkward and tense afterwards that he's like, okay, I better go home. I'm going to go and like read a book or something, and I'm going to, because he knows that whatever he says is going to be used against him. So he's like, okay. And also he's upset. So probably if he's upset, he starts to talk even more, or he starts to say what he really wants to say, and sometimes it can get a bit like, like, so he's like, no, I better retreat. I better retreat. But he's a sort of hero in this situation, because I think that this this no that he said was this sort of like a moment of truth for BTS, because I think that if it was probably another group, they would have gone for it, because they don't know, they don't have other option, but BTS does have the option to say no to certain things. So, but he's tired. He's starting to see in this period. He's starting to see a lot of shady things, um, and he's like, I better go home. I better go home. So, I think that you should, guys, always be careful about what you read, because I always, like I tell you, trust in what the guys say to you. If you're a fan, wait for a BTS member to tell you something. And if they don't say anything, it's because they don't have anything to say. But don't engage on, oh, I saw this, oh, I watched this, someone said this. No, because there's something, these powerful people are not happy, so they can, like throw a bomb here and there, something online, so the fans will get to freak out and start to worry and start to fighting each other, like, so please listen to the leader. Do as RM says. Go to hermit mode, do not engage. Yeah. Okay, Jimin. I know that this is only going to be a BTS reading, guys, but oh well. It just came to me today. Like, I wanted to read for them. So, Jimin, 4 of Cups, 2 of Pentacles. Jimin said that they cannot reveal everything to their fans, even if they want to. Yes. Okay. So, about Jimin. I think that, everyone says that actually that B looks so down, but I think that also Jimin it's a bit like apathic, and actually he had been feeling like this for a while, like actually like being where he is or being who he is, but he's still not. He's nor happy nor sad. He's like, okay, like, what do I do? um, what do I want to deliver? Like, what do I do? What do I do with my life? What do I do with myself? Who am I? This is very Libra, actually, like him actually having to be thinking about his own individuality and be like, okay, who am I? Yeah, the classic Libra limbo. Because, he's like this. The universe is offering him all this, but he already has this. And he's like, oh, maybe I'll think about it, and I don't know, but probably, yeah, maybe I will not make a decision today, maybe tomorrow it will be a great day. Like, there's something, there's a sort of like imposter syndrome in Libra, I was going to say, in Jimin. It's like it's like he wants to feel something, but at the same time he's a bit like not sure, because he knows that probably that once he starts to feel something he goes all the way, because he has Venus and Mars in Scorpio. So definitely he's someone that when he is involved in something or a project or interested in something, he goes in like very deep, and actually he goes to the extremes, and probably he feels a bit lost with being on the streams, and actually he feels a bit drained actually. um, but there's something about not knowing what to think or feel. He's a bit detached from his emotions. He has them, he is emotional. It's just that for him is probably he doesn't have it like that clear like everyone else. Probably he feels like, oh, okay, I just go with the flow of whatever happens. And here we have the Two of Pentacles. He goes with the flow of whatever happens. So he somehow is waiting for an external situation or person to help him get out of this. He's like, oh, okay, whatever new situation comes up, I'm ready. But me, in the meanwhile, I'm going to stay here because I don't know what to choose. Don't ask Jimin to choose, please. Don't ask him to make a decision because he will not make it. Um, but yes, are cards that actually are not like, oh, he's suffering. No, he's just like, okay, like, what do I do, or what concept do I choose? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. It's so complex to even explain it. And then we have the Two of Pentacles that also, it does remind me of his Libra moon. He's like, oh, okay, whatever the audience wants me to do or whatever someone else's want me to do, I will be. You want me to be blue, I will be blue. You want me to be red, I will be red. Like, okay, whatever, I don't know. Like, um, yeah, I'm going to pull one more card because actually this it's indecision, to be honest. I'm going to pull one card for Jimin. Oh, what's going on with Jimin? What's going on with Jimin? Like, oh my God, Jimin is so complex. Jimin is so complex. Free of sorts. So there, he feels sort of like, I wouldn't say betrayed, but yeah, this is very, very Venus and Mars in Scorpio actually. He feels like there's a wound here, there's a heartache about something. Maybe he wanted something else, but he didn't get it, and now whatever is like, yeah. I think that sometimes Jimin gets stuck in a state where he feels a bit pity for himself. There are some things that he cannot let go of. Mm. There are some things that he cannot let go of. There are some things that I think he, I I don't think, actually I think he does have a stellium in Scorpio. But he has a lot of air elements. He's a Libra with a Gemini moon. I'm sorry, I know I said Libra moon. I'm sorry. He's a Libra sun with a Gemini moon. So it does make sense that we have a three of swords here. That is like, okay, apathy, flexibility, and also swords. Like his vision of himself. It's very it's I wouldn't say negative, but he is like always comparing himself to others and being like, oh, I'm not good enough. And I think that he should move on from that era because he is good enough. He is a god, like my god. But probably this Three of Swords, it's also like the concept that he should take. Okay, you have a story to tell. Do you want to talk about heartbreak? Do you want to talk about, I don't know, feeling betrayed? Or do you want to talk about feeling sad? Okay, let's talk about that. Write a song about that. Use it. Use your pain, your past injuries. Use it and be the artist that you are. Because he has the whole potential. Look, he has the cups, he has the coins. He has to ground himself. I think that this is the reason why he is friends with B, because B is a whole Capricorn, and also with his moon in Aries. So B is all about, yes, B can also be sometimes, B, Taeyong can also be a bit sometimes indecisive because he wants to do so much and he doesn't have the time to do it. But what happens with B is that B has all the earth element that Jimin doesn't have. I think that Jimin doesn't have any earth element in his birth chart. So this is why he's always pendant, he's always on the clouds, he's always like, he's never grounded. He's always in his head. He's always in his imaginary. He's always in his feelings. So I think that he needs to put in a structure to this. He needs to put all this that he has, even his own insecurities, and write a song about this and talk about this. Because actually, a lot of people can be can resonate with his message. So if he actually dares to create something that talks about this, a lot of people would follow, because actually he's not the only one that feels this way. This is something that I think that probably for Jimin sometimes he does feel like he's the only one that is going through some things that he cannot let go of the past. But actually, he's not the only one. We all go through that sometimes. And I think that for him, Maybe he compares himself to others and he's like, oh, but the others don't look so, I don't know, they seem to move on pretty quickly, or they just transform that disappointment into something else, and they rise, they use it and they transform it, and somehow I can't. I have it bottled up inside of me. I have it bottled up inside of me, and I cannot use it. I cannot give it a purpose. I'm always like roaming in my head. I'm always like overthinking about things that already happened, conversations that I had in the past, discussions and arguments that I have in the past. He's always thinking and replaying those. And actually, he is not in the present, and his present is very different. The Jimmy that he was a few years ago is not the Jimmy that he's today. So he needs to remove this or make something out of this. Give it a purpose, let it go. I don't know, put it in a song and let it go. Just let it go, because it doesn't represent who he is now. And also, Jimmy needs someone to talk to. He needs someone to talk to. He needs someone, actually not to talk to, but to someone that someone that can listen to him. Probably he needs to express everything and feel like there's like some confidential deal, like he can say what he wants to say, talk about himself, and not feeling judged. That's going to be very healing for him if he gets to do that. Okay, B. B. Ace of Swords, Seven of Wands. Okay, here we go. Here we go. It wouldn't be a big card if we didn't have Wands here, because this guy he is always connected with his desire. He knows what he wants, and he knows it, and he's going to let you know what he wants to achieve. First of all, starting with the Ace of Swords. I think that whatever he wants to create is already on the making. He already has it. He has it already. Yes, that Aries moon. That Aries moon of him. He is like, he knows, and he wants to do more. Like, he probably has material and he wants to do more. B is going to surprise people with his projects. Actually, not surprise, because there's no mystery here, actually, because B is very blunt. If B he wants to participate in something, he does it, and you suddenly see him, and you're like, oh, there's Tay is there. And he wants to also express himself. He wants to express himself. I think that, for B to actually recognize himself as someone that can express himself well, it's a whole struggle. Yeah. For him, it's a whole struggle, because he's so blunt that sometimes people that want to misunderstand him, they always pick him to misunderstand him. It's like, I don't know if maybe it's because he's that confident, or maybe it's because he's that blunt, and he doesn't give people the satisfaction of being who they want him to be. I don't know. I think that there are some people that want to humiliate him, and he remembers that, and he's ready to fight you with words, with content, with messages. Because he has a lot to say to the haters. He knows that he has haters. He knows he has people that love him, but he's thinking like, I'm coming to get you. He's not letting go easily. of, he's a guy that he looks bothered, but once he's upset at you, he's not going to let it go. I mean, you want a reaction, he's going to give you a reaction. But he just wants to do it in a very classy, and of course he's a Capricorn, he wants to do it in a very classy and in a very, like, you know, he doesn't want to lose his temper. He wants to send you a message, but he wants to act like a gentleman as well, because he takes care of his image very much. And this is not about looking good. This is about, okay, you want to put a label on me, you don't know me. I am my own person. I am. It's like, this is why people, I think that they always want to attribute certain, like, rumors to Tay. People are like, oh, maybe he's like this. Oh, you know this picture of him? Oh, and he's like, say what you want of me, or what you want of me. I am powerful. I am the one in power. And then we have the seven of wands. So this means that he probably felt like this sort of underdog. He always felt like he had to defend himself. So maybe if sometimes he reacts or he responds in a very harsh way, is because he had felt like he had to defend himself all the time. This is something that he carries with him. This is something that he carries. This is something that he carries with him. This need to defend himself. Like, knowing that whatever he does, he's always going to have people like, oh, this wasn't good enough. Oh, this, oh no, look what he done. Oh, look who he talked to. Oh no, look. And he's like, I'm going to defend myself because look what I got. Come for me. I'm ready. You don't know B. You don't know B. B has zero tolerance for people trying to put words in his mouth that he didn't say. Or try to be like, oh, he's living his life like this. Like, who are you to define me? You're no one to define me. I am. This is what I always tell people. Do not try to guess the guy's intentions or the rumors, the communication, the stuff, because B is going to come to cut your head, because he's not going to let you decide who he is. At least with him, you are not going to be able to do it. You can maybe do it to other members. You can do it to other members. You can spread a lot of rumors. Oh, look what he said, what he said. With B, no. No. Because this guy is busy. He's busy living his passion. He's busy. He's creating. He is working. So you better do not step in his territory, because you're not going to like it when he responds back. Then everyone gets offended when he says something. But he's right. Like, some people should mind their own business. He's a guy that definitely knows how to put boundaries. Okay, the last one, the magnet, JK. Then, guys, I'm going to finish this and I'm going to go because I'm really tired. There are a lot of members, but, well, okay, JK. Knight of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, I seen this Queen of Pentacles. I seen her in JK readings. I seen this Queen of Pentacles before. I seen this queen before. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. And he's running towards her very passionately. Uh-huh. Situationships, exactly. Situationships, yeah. I don't know, guys. I cannot tell you that this is a love relationship because actually the Knight of Wands is more about passion. You know, it's more about, like, oh, I'm coming to see you, or I'm coming to meet with you. But he definitely has been keeping this lady in his mind for a while. She is an earth sign. She is an earth sign. I seen her before. I know I said it in one of my, I think it was 2 years ago, when I did the first reading for JK. Uh, but if you want, like, there's something about also about him being brave. Probably this person is older than him, so because she's a king, she's a queen. So he definitely sees, he's represented by this knight. So, she, yeah, I think it was one of the first readings that I did that I recorded that it was like, I even recorded the table that it was very awkward and the audio was awful. But I think I said something about a Queen of Pentacles that actually she was like requesting something out of him, like a sort of commitment, and like, he wasn't making a decision, like a Virgo he is. But here, you see, he's represented by this Knight of Wands. So it means that either he sees himself as inferior to her, like somehow, since she's represented by this queen, probably she's more experienced in life, or either she's older. And he looks at her and he's like, wow, I admire you. Like, wow, like you are a queen. And he does admire her because of how hardworking she is, and probably because since she's Queen of Pentacles, she can be like a sort of boss, or she is in power, and definitely she is also a creator. Um, and he's like being brave because he's like being brave. Usually the Knight of, oh yeah, K-drama, yeah, the Knight of Wands, actually, if I place it here, when you have the Knight of Wands like a second card, the Knight of Wands always seems to be on the run. Like, always, this is why the Knight of Wands is always, when you get this card, it's like, yes, someone that is very passionate, but probably is like, the passion doesn't last that much. Yes, he does make the move, he goes towards you, but then eventually he disappears. But since this is like this, it means that he's running towards her. He's not escaping her, you know? So I think that in his case, he's like, okay, this is the moment. I'm going to be brave. Like, I'm going to show my adventurous side. I'm going to show my passion. Like, I'm not, I don't, I feel ready. Like, probably he had been holding his passions for quite a while. And he's like, okay, he's like, now, but I think that probably he needs to be like this because if you observe the Queen of Pentacles, she's looking at her coin. So definitely she's securing her bag. She is thinking about her career, and money and status and stability and everything that she had like created. And she's not like looking at him actually also, if we think about directions. But definitely she's someone that she had experienced life, so she's not probably very romantic or she's not focusing on love. Um, but yeah, he's going towards her like probably he wants to like I don't know, ask her something. Um, but he's like this is my moment, this is my moment, like I have to do it. And I think that this is also a manifestation that he is feeling more secure with himself. This is his moon in Leo showing, not so much on the spotlight or on the scenario. It's more about yeah. He's more like, I want to show her that like that I can be um assertive, like. And I think that she will be very distracted, like, oh, like, are you talking to me? Something like that, like probably he disappeared for a while. Yeah, and now he's like, okay, I gotta do it. I cannot hold it in anymore. I have to do something, I have to do something. I have to make it happen. I have to make it happen. So, um, I don't know. I think that let's pull one more card because this could be like a collaboration as well. But let's see. Let's see. What? Be brave, JK. Be brave. Yeah. I don't know about her because she got the two of she has a Libra moon. Um. I think that he's going to do his best, but I think that she will have to think about it. I think that probably her response is going to be like, I don't know. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Good morning, Mariana. He's going to be like, I don't know. Who dares to say I don't know to JK? I swear. I swear. But I think, because if this is the same person that I saw in my reading a few years ago, probably she's like, oh, now you're coming back? Now you want to talk? Now you want to fix things? Yeah, me too, Samara. Maybe she's like, yeah, maybe she's like, because she has a lot to lose, actually. This person probably has a business, so I would be like, boy, bye. um, but he's so cute. He's a cute guy. He's a good guy. It's just that it must be her being him. It must be her being him. And not knowing, for him to actually be like, okay, I really like this person. Um, you know, for him, relationships really like um, mustn't be like that, like good. So, so yeah, guys. I don't know. And poor JK, like I'm proud of him because I want him to be brave. I want him to also because he's also someone that thinks a lot about others. He thinks a lot about others. He has Venus in Libra, so he's always thinking about, okay, what can I do for the others? I want Army to be happy with me. I want to show them my good side, but he also has desires of his own. He's a very passionate man. He's very passionate. He's very passionate. It's just that with his Virgo nature, he he is a bit of an overthinker. You know, he probably, and if this woman has some kind of independence, or if she is very into her own projects and her own life, he probably thinks, or I mean, or looks at her and is like, oh, she is out of my reach, or she's too busy, she's not going to like um like me, I don't know. Because you know, idols have their insecurities as well. It's not that probably the fans will be like, yes, I wouldn't second guess, I would date this guy, but for them as people, maybe it's different. You know. Okay, guys. Yes, we are all. Yes, we are all, Diana. Yes, because they're really good guys. So we want them to take the moment to get to know someone. You know, to find the right timing. You know, do not rush things. Like, you know, because relationships are complex, and if you are famous, they're even more complex. So, you know. Okay, guys, I'm going to finish it here. I'm sorry that I didn't get a chance to pull cards for others, but today here in my country, it's Father's Day, so I'm going to spend some time with my dad because it's his day. We're going to have lunch together. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy this Sunday. And of course, if you want, I'm going to make a post on my community to ask you about next week's readings. If what would you want me to read about? So if I can like do some of those, so you know we can keep the channel alive, and so you can enjoy the readings as well. So thank you guys for being here as always. Thank you, Diana. Gracias, Mariana. Um, feliz día para los padres, y Happy Father's Day. Thank you, Mafi. Yeah. Take care, guys, and enjoy your Sunday.